All right, everyone, welcome back. And here is lesson 532 continued. So part 2 of our video lesson for today. Now what the workbook wants us to do is prove if the two sides are parallel. So according to the triangle proportionality theorem, if I can say that BD over DA equals BE over CE, if I can prove that and I do in fact get the same answer, I can conclude segment DE and AC are parallel to each other. So if you notice, here's my setup. You can punch this in your calculator and I do get 3. 9 over 3 is 3 and 10.5 divided by 3.5 is 3. So basically because they have the same scale factor, we can conclude that segment DE and segment AC are going to be, in fact, parallel to each other. Okay, example 4 is similar. Okay, example 4 can be found on page 83. Now we need to show if side DE is parallel to AC. So we need to check if BD over DA equals BE over EC. This is just how I chose to check it. So what I did was I did 11 over 7. Does that equal 5.5 over 3.5? And you can see it does not. So just punch 11 sevenths into your calculator. You get about 1 57/100. And if you do 5.25 divided by 3.5, you get 1.5. Because these two ratios are not equal, then segment DE is not parallel to segment AC. Could someone have shown and set it up as BD over BE? And does that equal AD over EC? Of course. And you would get two ratios that are not equal to each other, still proving that the two sides are not parallel. Alrighty. So this takes us to our next example. Okay, so now they want us to find the side lengths of segment BD and DC. Okay, so let's look at the information they gave us. So if you notice, sorry, it's kind of covered up, but if you look at your workbook, angle A is bisected. So I'm going to use the triangle angle bisector theorem. And this is how I chose to set up my proportion right here. So I did x plus 2 over x plus 1, so I kind of stuck with the same side, is equal to 7 over 5.6. And then you can see my algebra. I'm going to multiply these terms together. Let's distribute the 5.6. Let's distribute the 7. Combine like terms. Maybe subtract the 5.6 over, subtract the 7. You get the following, and x is simply 3. Now, it's great, x is 3, but make sure you substitute it back in to actually find what segment BD and DC are. Again, I just wanted to show you this is totally another way you could set up your proportion and you will still get your answer of x being 3. Alrighty, so the next two slides are just some examples that I made up. Okay, it looks like page 80 might be blank, so if you want to just watch, that's fine, or if you want to jot down some notes, here you go. So look at what I gave you. Notice angle T is bisected. So for that reason, we're going to apply the angle bisector theorem. And this is how I chose to set up my proportion. 25 over SR, which I'm calling X, is equal to 15 over 9. the camera down a bit so you could see the rest of the work. So here's my proportion and the algebra, and x is simply 15 feet. Okay, here is another example. So I gave you the following. I told you angle M is going to get bisected. I told you that AT is only 6, but then the entire segment AH is 21. So we kind of did this in a previous problem. Could I find segment TH? Yes, just do 21 minus 6, and that's how you get TH to be 15. Okay, so here's how I chose to set up. I did 6 over x plus 10 is equal to 15 over 38. And then you could see the algebra. Okay. So going from this proportion, here's what I got next. Here's my algebra, divide by 15. I got x to be 5.2 centimeters. And then here's just like an extension problem. I could then later on ask you guys, what's the length of segment AM? So AM is initially x plus 10. I could just take my 5.2 and add that to the 10, and I could say segment AM is 15 2/10 of a centimeter. Okay, so this actually does conclude our lesson. Okay, had we been in class, we would have gone through this partner worksheet. Again, what I'll do is within today's Google folder, I will post a blank copy of this partner worksheet if you're interested and would like to try it. This is not for an assignment. It's not for a grade. It is simply if you want some extra practice. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through this real quickly. As I said, I will post a blank version as well as a document in case you have the luxury of printing this up. Here is the work for one side. Again, had we done this in class, someone would have been basically partner A, someone would have been partner B. You would have kind of walked each other through the problems, help each other out. And then here's our homework. So again, just from the workbook, just kind of scrolling through. As you can see, I gave you some hints. Again, friendly reminder, if I am going too fast, please pause the video. All right, and here are just some more formal worked out solutions. Kind of rewritten a little neater for you guys. I hope you didn't think today's lesson was too bad. It really is just applying two theorems, which are really two nice little formulas. And again, remember, I might set up a proportion one way, but as long as you are being consistent with how you set up the proportion, you should still be getting the same answer. Alrighty, So that concludes our lesson for 532. Sorry it became 2 videos, but I hope this helps and have a great day.